All right, I've got a 2000 Ford Ranger 3-liter 4-wheel drive here that is in need of a power steering pump. This one makes a terrible whine as you're steering the vehicle, and so I want to give you a demonstration and instruction on how to replace that. Before we get started, I want to let you know that I'm a Christian, and I would love it if you took a moment to cruise over to my other channel on how to become a Christian and check it out, and hopefully that'll be helpful to you as well. So let's get started. All right, I just want you to hear the power steering whine before we get started. So let me crank this up and just give you a demo of what it sounds like right now. All right, so that's a quick demonstration of the whine that it's producing. It's actually much worse when the temperature outside is a little warmer and as the fluid warms up, it actually gets very, very annoying. So that's a demonstration. Let me get things in order and we'll set up to begin the repair. Okay, as we get started, you're going to need a couple of items ahead of time. Of course, here is the new power steering pump. Purchased it from Advanced Auto for around $50, no core charge. So that's a really great deal there. It also comes with some seals that you'll want to make sure you keep hold of. Those will be important as we install the lines to the power steering pump. You'll need a pulley installer, removal and installer tool. You can rent these at many parts places, but the ones in my area were either broken or not available. So I actually purchased this. It was $35. And you're going to need a couple of quarts of automatic transmission fluid, because the power steering system in a Ford Ranger does not use power steering fluid. It uses automatic transmission fluid. And so I've purchased that as well. Those three items should get us underway. So let's look under the hood. Okay, so I just want to locate a few things. Here is, of course, the engine compartment, and power steering pump is located just underneath the compressor. It is held on by 3 bolts behind the pulley that you're not going to be able to see just yet. We're going to begin by removing the negative terminal of the battery cable just for safety reasons. And then the next step will be removing the drive belt for the system. So let's begin by taking care of the battery, and I'll show you how to remove that belt. Okay, so I put a 15 millimeter wrench on the idler down below here. Let's see if I can give a shot here. Not a real good shot, but the idler's down there. You can see the 15 millimeter wrench, and applied pressure. That gave me enough slack in the belt to slip the belt off of the AC compressor. Now I can remove the belt. Here's a quick shot of the tool installed on the pulley to remove the pulley. Once I get this off, I will kind of show you how that's put together. I'm going to use one wrench to hold the pulley assembly right here, and then I'll tighten this bolt and it'll draw the pulley off the shaft. So let me get it off, and then I'll give you a closer shot of actually how the tool went together. All right, I just want to give you an idea of the kind of force it takes to get this pulley off. I know you can't see perfectly, but it takes a lot of force to get that pulley to break free from the shaft. Okay, so here's the pulley removed from the vehicle, and here's the tool. There's an outer sleeve here that holds on these two pieces here that fit over the tool and over the ridge of the pulley here. And so what's happening is as you tighten this, you're essentially just pulling those tools out. This goes against the shaft of the power steering pump. And so hopefully that helped you understand exactly how that goes together. That took me about 10 minutes. That was some very difficult effort, really, really hard work to get that off, as I showed earlier. So let me get my pieces together and cleaned up, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, next thing we're going to do is remove the filler cap. We're going to actually reuse the filler cap. It does not come with a new one, and using a turkey baster here, I'm going to try to get out as much fluid as I can to make the least amount of mess on the floor later when I disconnect the lines. There are 2 fittings on this that are the pressure in and out lines. One is there. The other one is on the very back there. I'm going to take a moment to clean those off so I don't get debris down in the lines once I disconnect them. All right, using an 11/16 wrench, I loosened the fitting there and got that off. Next are 3 bolts that hold on the steering pump from the front. So I'm going to loosen those and remove the pump, and then gain access to the rear line and the back of the steering pump. Okay, the installation of the pulley is done with this tool. The pulley is slid over the shaft of this bolt. The bolt is screwed into the shaft of the power steering pump, and then you tighten this to force the pulley down over the shaft of the power steering pump. So just like taking it off, it was a lot of work, and it was challenging, but it is doable. And so on our Ranger here, we've got the pulley back on. You can see it's aligned with the AC compressor, so we're in good shape there. So just need to put the outer belt back on, and we'll take some more photo then. Okay, the next thing we need to do is to replace the Teflon seal on the high pressure portion of the power steering pump. So this has to be heated in hot water to make it elastic enough to fit over the fitting. So just heating up some water, going to put it in this bin, let it sit for a minute, and then install it over the rings or the threads of that line. Okay, so we've got the belt back on and power steering pump in place. Last thing we have to do is to fill this up with fluid. And then the way we're going to bleed it, the way I'm going to bleed it is, after I fill it up, is to crank the vehicle and then just using the steering wheel, turn hard to the right, hard to the left. It'll be really rough for a while as the air pockets are driven out of the system, and it's going to take a lot of turning back and forth. You can jack up the front of the vehicle, and that way you're not digging a hole in your grass while you do this, or wearing out your tires on the concrete. But that's what I'm going to do next, and once I get it all put back together and bled, I'll take one more photo of this running, and hopefully we'll have lost all of that whine that you heard earlier in the video. All right, all done with the power steering pump here, and good news and bad news. The good news is that the pump is working properly and I have good power steering. The bad news is the refurbished model from Advanced Auto is just as whiny as the one that was on the truck. Listen to that thing. Terrible. So nonetheless, hopefully this video is helpful to you if you need to replace your power steering pump, or if you're considering replacing it to get rid of the whine. Either way, you have some good information. Thanks for watching. Hey, remember, I shot this video because I'm a Christian, and I'm sure hoping you'll get your truck back on the road, and you'll get a chance to swing over to my other video on how to become a Christian. Thanks for watching, and God bless.